smashed him.
You what?
Ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet and make noise for GRESH Unleashed.
Let's go! Brock Lesnar on the beast.
What the hell?
Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level got an increase.
I get no bitches.
Content on the daily. Feeling like GRESH Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, baby. I got the intro wrong, but we're going to roll with the punches. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, baby mamas, baby daddies, everybody in between. It is your purveyor of mischief, GRESH, bringing you a special edition of the GRESH Unleashed podcast because, hey, we are fresh off the road from a weekend in Nashville, as Roman Reigns probably wishes. But we went to SummerSlam, but it's not just me, it's we. That being my bro, my tag team, a partner, the oos with the juice that has better swag than me. Mr. Hi-Lite of the night, Mr. Hi-Lite Real. What's good with your big brother?
Oh, what's happening, fellow wrestling junkies out there? It's your boy Hi-Lite, the Press of Box. Hey, man, what you talking about? You got plenty of swag. GRESH, what you mean? Hey, don't be listening to that guy, y'all. Y'all know he got the swag, man. You know what I'm saying? What's up, though? Hey, how about this trip, man?
Ooh.
Sheesh.
It was a trip.
It was a trip, man.
You want to start from the beginning?
Let's start from the beginning. Yeah, let's get into it, man.
Yeah. So, how did we get to this trip? This trip was basically sponsored by our good friend BK. He hit me up one week. I think it was when the car wasn't even finalized. He's like, "Hey, you trying to go to SummerSlam?" I'm like, "No." And then he said, I go. I'm like, long story short, I was like, man, I ain't trying to spend money out there because brother is on a fixed income. So he's like, hey, I'll sponsor. Long story short, he was like, okay, he was gonna go. Me and him was originally gonna go, and then he decided to go to UFC to see Nunes get a win back. So we hit up my boy Hi-Lite and we was like, yo, you want to come to this? And he said, shoot, yeah. He bought a ticket, not realizing BK didn't tell me that I had an extra ticket. So until like the week of, and I'm like, bro, did you buy your ticket? And you said, yeah, I bought it. I'm like, shit. Long story short, we brought our good friend Daryl. Shout out Daryl. We just got back and he was like, I gotta go home and go to sleep. So he wasn't going to be on nobody's podcast. He was gonna go home and go to sleep and do this thing. But yo, shout out to him for the interesting stories and all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. But the day one of the road trip, what the hell did we do?
So basically, y'all, what happened was like we had a slight itinerary we went by, you know what I'm saying? But like obviously plans kind of changed. You know, we were trying to leave, we left about 10:30ish. We were trying to leave around 10. Catch our boy BK before, you know, he slid out. Everything still worked out. Traffic wasn't too bad for us leaving out. You know what I'm saying? We were able to still leave. We got to Nashville, safe and sound, as you can see, and we back, right? So we were safe, protected. Thankful y'all. Got to the hotel, checked in, you know what I mean? And then ran into our boy BK as promised, you know, got to meet him. Shout out to you, BK, you know, for, you know, just everything you know, help sponsor my boy GRESH with, because this trip couldn't have been possible without you, my guy. So thank you. You know what I'm saying?
He sponsored the heck out of us, man, because originally I was like, I don't feel like going. He's like, because sometimes I tell people all the time, like, you sometimes are your biggest enemy. Mm-hmm. And he would tell me, he's like, bro, just stop stressing the hell out of it and just go. Like, just do it. Like, and I'm pretty sure people are like, oh, so it'll be more trips to come. It'll be more trips to come. We'll be with him. I might bring him on to talk about his thoughts for being there for that UFC fight. I know Suela normally covers the UFC bit, so she tells me about the UFC stuff on the Chop It Up with the Bandit segment, which you guys can check out on the regular edition of this podcast. But man, what we got there? I wanted to crash.
Yeah. So initially, my boy GRESH, you know, because he he did the majority of the driving. Shout out to my boy, you know what I'm saying? I did offer to help, so I wasn't just trying to ride on. But, you know, it was a 4-hour drive, so Gresh was able to handle it with energy drinks in hand, of course, as you know, among other things. As you see him sipping out because he's still riding the juice. You know what I mean? But we, you know, we get there, we pull up, we check in. We say what's up with BK for a minute before he had to go catch his flight. And so initially we were just going to chill out and kind of crash. It was, you know, fresh off the road. It was day one. We were just like, hey, we know what Saturday is going to consist of. We were just going to kind of chill, maybe go hit the strip, which we did put that in the plans eventually. But then all of a sudden, you know, we settle in, we get some food, you know, we chill. And all of a sudden, before you know it.
Did we go to the superstore? The SummerSlam superstore?
Yes. Actually, BK, before he left, was like, hey, I want to go check out the arena to see if they got banners at Nissan Stadium, you know, the SummerSlam banner. So we're like, all right, cool. So that became a game of chase as we both kind of just rolled up there. And then we were looking around for BK. BK's like, hey, yeah, what side of you guys the arena are you guys on? We're like, well, we're over here. And he's like, well, I'm over here. And we're riding, circling, trying to find him. He sees us. We're like, okay, where are you? And then we finally get around to actually seeing, you know, good old BK, and then that's when we all pull up together. And we go straight to the superstore. Basically went in and checked
prices.
Talk about it, my guy. Talk about
the prices.
Let me tell you, WWE. Come on now. Let me tell y'all something. You can't call something a superstore
with nothing in it. Nothing was in that, bruh. There was nothing in the superstore. Like, you had your John Cena's, you had your Roman, the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
You had, I don't even think they had solo Roman Reigns. It was just Bloodline stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of Bloodline stuff.
You had Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair, a sprinkle of Alexa Bliss.
I see why she still has that ugly ass dog.
Exactly.
It's selling like hotcakes still.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You had SummerSlam merch, of course, like a bunch of
they had like a retro, like it looked like the 92 SummerSlam.
Yeah, it had like the retro SummerSlam logo shirts. They had current SummerSlam shirts with like Brock and Roman's face just saying I was there. You know,
and that's where my problem is. I am not buying merch with people's faces. I would have bought the Bloodline shirt if it didn't have just their renders on it. I'm like, if it would just say acknowledge the Bloodline, I'd be like, all right, I'll copy. But
that's real.
Yeah. It was basically Roman's face with the titles and the Usos with the title. I'm like,
and you know, look, I had my Bloodline swag. All I ended up bringing was all my wrestling shirt swag that I had so far.
You had the OG Bloodlines. They were surrounded by the money, and you had the.
And that was when that shirt first like released. So that's why mine look so different from everybody else's. But like, because I think I was the only one with that white one. Everybody had like either the red or the black. Yep. So I guess your boy was unique. You know what I mean? That was cool. But we pulled up. Yeah, I mean. They had a, you know, being a residential Tennessee Titans fan, as y'all see me with my mug, my jersey, you know, they had a SummerSlam alterated jersey that was in, like, basically like how you see my Titans jersey. It was basically Titans colors, looked just like this, and had 22 on it. The only difference is, obviously, the number was not on the front like the traditional Titans jerseys. They just had the SummerSlam logo on the front. And then on the back, you had the number 22 and Nashville stitched on the back. And then, of course, 22 on the side shoulders like the numbers are on the Titans jerseys. But as expected, I knew when I saw stuff like that. Matter of fact, I saw a shirt that said Nashville 316. I think that was like $35. 35. So I knew, like, okay, well, if that's $35 as a shirt, guarantee that jersey is $100 and up. Sure enough, WWE team member, I asked, how much is the jerseys now? $100. Yep. Thanks, guys. I was like, man, for that price, I can literally get my own Titans jersey and I can just stitch what I want on the back.
You want me to spend $100 for a shirt that I'm only gonna wear once?
True. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, yeah, you know, shout out to BK. BK, I didn't get it, man. I know you said, hey, you got to get that, bro. Like, as a Titans fan, you got to. Yeah, and I thought about it. I was back and forth about it, y'all. Trust me. I was like.
We went 2 days in a row. Like, we went Saturday Friday and Saturday.
I really was like, I wanted it because it was nice. It looked nice. But like Gresh was saying, how many times would I really wear that knowing that SummerSlam is like once a year.
You'll wear it maybe on the podcast, and then you'll get, because I bought, like I said, I wore the Wreck Everyone to Leave. I wore that hoodie 3 times in my life.
Exactly.
And that's because it's a hoodie, and it's like I have to remember where I put it, because I also got an FTR shirt when they first came to AEW.
True.
So that was it was some, I forgot, that lets you know how little I actually wear it. But it was one of their first shirts for AEW where it was just the font. It was in a big old circle, and it was red and black. And I wore that maybe twice. Once on the podcast, and then once to the store.
Yeah.
Because I needed a shirt, and I was like, all right, I'll put it on. So it's like, that's just my philosophy. Some people just want it because they have like backdrop, like they want to hang the poster right or whatever right there. Mm-hmm. And speaking of posters, their posters was $55 for the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar SummerSlam poster. I'm like,
they wanted $55 for that poster.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
no, one of them things was still full when I left.
Yeah, man, that should have been like $5 to $10, if anything, for a poster.
Yeah,
that can rip really, man. Come on.
Is it in a glass? Like, do you put it in a glass and you can ship it to my house?
Yeah, do you laminate it? What's going on? Like, I just need to understand that. But yeah, they had like Money in the Bank lunch boxes, John Cena towels that were like $10.
Most of that stuff you can get, like, if you go with your kids,
yeah,
or your nieces and your nephews, you'd be like, you want a lunchbox? You want this ugly ass Alexa Bliss dog? Cool. Here you go. Go get it.
The Rey Mysterio masks were something I almost got until I realized one of them was $75, and apparently the other one was $60. And I'm thinking that was the cheaper one. That was probably like, I don't know, 25, maybe 30 tops. That thing, they wanted like a whole $60 for. I'm like, yep. I'll just go get a Rey Mysterio mask somewhere else.
It would have been awkward too if you would have got it and you didn't fit.
Yes, because I saw a kid wear that thing, and I was like, there is no way I would have been able to fit that. No way, bro. Like,
it looked like he was struggling with it too.
Yeah, but then I did see an adult in that thing, so I'm like, I guess it's one of those occasions where it just stretches to fit or something, and it just, I don't know how they do that when it's that new feel. Because that Roman Reigns glove I bought,
that thing was, you was struggling.
Let me tell you, I was struggling trying to put that thing on the first time because I'm like, God, dog, like my boy Daryl, he bigger than I am, and he had it on, so I'm like, well, I know I can fit this, right? So I'm like, why is this thing so hard to put on? And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, okay, it eventually stretches to fit. It's like getting a new pair of church shoes. You know, you gotta really stretch yourself in there, and then eventually leather like gets you. But I mean, what do? We ended up getting the little WWE title chain, $15.
Oh yeah, I ain't got it on right now. It's in. Matter of fact, is it in my pocket? Matter of fact,
hold on.
It's in my pocket right now.
Look at that. Look at that drip.
It's $15.
Look at that drip.
It's $15. I had to make sure. I pay. I'm about to go back to work one of these days, and I'm like, yo, this is part of my uniform. I'm gonna make this $15 stretch.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's some good drip for $15.
It's something if you want to go to an arena or something, but like wear it out. Unless you want to scare the hoes, don't do it.
Hey, you know,
because they were, oh, you watch wrestling?
You know,
no, I watch sports entertainment. That sounds like somebody. I bet somebody would say that too. That sounds like something y'all would say on Twitter. Oh no, I watch sports entertainment. I don't watch that professional wrestling stuff. That does not sound like anything that I would watch. And then you turn on like wrist lock. That's wrestling. So
fireman's carry. You feel me? I don't know, but. Yeah, nah, we basically, after we just kind of got in the oohs and the ahs, like, of real quickness, like, okay, this was cool, sort of, like, we left the arena, and then at that point, it was a photo op, basically, because we did promo videos,
we did slow-mo videos, because our creative juices just started flowing. I was like, just do a Superman punch. You got some likes on TikTok. I got some likes on TikTok. Daryl got some likes on TikTok and Facebook. Oh, not Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was about to say our Instagram. Pretty much every social site
we just posted it. I was just like, yeah, shit. Yeah, this is just for the clicks, and they were like, "Oh, you there?" Yeah. Like it was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, you were at SummerSlam," because they thought we was gonna be at SmackDown here in Atlanta. I'm like, them go home shows are pretty much hit or miss. Yeah, because outside of the Drew and Sheamus match, I
It
ain't
was
missed
like,
much.
yeah, we did recap it a little bit at the end, like, oh, okay, it was cool, but like, we just were like, we're glad we came to SummerSlam then at least because more enjoyable.
It was more.
Weekend,
Oh yeah, it was more
you
enjoyable
know?
in person. And then talk about
Well,
Then we go.
hold on, you gonna jump the gun on
I'm
that
about
one?
to say.
We're gonna get to
I'm
that,
about
yeah.
to say the meet and greet.
Yeah, because what happened was we had to go get something to eat after that photo op.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh yeah,
we had to go get something to eat, and we knew we were gonna hit the strip up later, so we were like, okay, we don't want to eat nothing too major, so like we'll just get something quick. You know what I'm saying?
We was gonna go. What was it? Jack in the Box, and then
traffic was just crazy on that side.
So we just went to Cookout
because it was on the side we turned on. So we were like, Cookout, quick. We got what we got. Went back to the hotel and kicked it for a minute, and then that's when, as we were basically in chill mode, Daryl is online, scrolling through, and one of his homies hits him up and is like, "Yo, you here? Like, hey man, look, Bianca got a meet and greet. Matter of fact, first he saw that she had a meet and greet at Cricket. So then I was like, oh, what time? We're like, oh, it's at, I think they said 10 a.m. Something like that.
So it was we missed that.
Yeah, we were like, well, no, we didn't miss that one because it was for the Saturday, and we were like, hold on. And I remember, Gresh, you were just like kind of in that mode from like, man, I drove, I'm chilling. You were in like a cruise control where it was kind of like,
it's like whatever.
I told him, I was like, well, it's free, but we'll have to get up early. Because matter of fact, that superstore, we noticed that they had a meet and greet scheduled for the next day.
It was Theory and AJ Styles, and I said, I don't give a damn about Theory.
right.
So I was like, I was contemplating on meeting AJ Styles, and it was like $80. $80 for both. So I was like,
and that's, ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't even a promo package. That was like $80 for a photo op or $80
for a autograph, or if you want both, that's $80 a piece. So it's basically $80 a piece if you wanted both. And I'm like, do I really want to spend over $100 for? Because I'm not really an autograph person. I don't really like. I mean, I understand people who get autographs because it's like, okay, cool, your favorite superstar. But I'm like, what am I going to do with this? A photo is it lasts long because it's like, hey, I met so and so, I met so and so, I met so and so. So it's like, okay, cool. There we go. So we went when Daryl's buddy was like, go to that C4.
Yes, because that's when we found out. It was like at that point we found out our Cricket Wireless. We were kind of debating if we were going to go to that for the next morning, but then we found out, oh no, wait, on Kroger, and we're like, Kroger.
It was like the most random. Every meet and greet that we went through to this weekend was literally the most random places. It was a Kroger, a Cricket, a gas station. I'm like, what? What?
Okay. Like WWE has their superstars do meet and greets at some of the most random places, and we're just like, okay. I mean, some of them are free. Actually, most of them are free.
They had Foot Locker as well.
Yes.
Bianca had So Bianca, we missed the Foot Locker one, and even if we did, we would have had to either wait in line or drop bands.
Well, actually, no. You had to drop bands for that one either way. Apparently, they were saying to do that meet and greet, you had to spend money in Foot Locker to do it, and they were like, that's what made the line shorter because a lot of folks was just like, I ain't about to spend no money in Foot Locker if I want to meet. So
it's like, I wasn't gonna do it. I'm like,
I mean,
I'd rather just waste my time because you get to meet people if you get to meet people of mutual interest.
Right.
Like, so it's like, okay, long story short, we found out it was at Kroger, and it was like 15 minutes from the hotel. It was like, it started at 6:30, and we their time because we're on Eastern here in Atlanta. They're on Central, so it was like, okay, 6:30. We left the hotel at 6:20. So we was like, we got to get there in 10 minutes. Man. By the time we got there, it was wrapped in a snake just all through the park. Because we didn't even bring our belts because we had our custom belts. We didn't bother bringing it because we was like, we thought it was gonna be in the actual store. Keep in mind, me and him don't go to meet and greet, so we don't know these things unless we ask, and we didn't ask. So we showed up. meet and greet.
Mhm.
It was in Snake, and it was hot. It's still hot out there.
Yeah.
It's not hot, Atlanta hot, but it's close.
Yeah.
The sun was out, so we was like, dang, we should have brought our belts. And I was like, I let y'all get in line so I can park, because that's all. The one thing about driving, you gotta find. There's nowhere to park. There's no directions on where to park, so you have to make the rules up as you go, or you have to avoid the do not park sign.
Oh yeah.
So basically, that was the entire story of the meet and greet driving wise. I had to avoid all do not park signs.
Oh yeah, and truthfully, that's the best part about guys on a road trip to something like that. Let me just tell y'all, when you do decide you want to go to one of these big 4 pay-per-views, make sure you squat it up, because in the event that with these little sub meet and greet events that go on in between, leading up to, you definitely want to make sure you squat it up. So 1, somebody can hold your place in line. 2, somebody that's driving, whoever's driving, can actually find a parking spot, so that's not taking up more time. Because imagine, they cut that line off at a certain point, and we just barely kind of made that cutoff point, right? So had Gresh not been the driver to like find a parking spot, and me and Daryl not been in line already to hold a place for him when he got there,
we wouldn't.
It would have just been like, well, dang, we basically came out here for nothing now. You know what I'm saying? And
I kind of felt bad for the people who did show up after they cut off. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Well,
but then you also got to look at it. They didn't really advertise it either.
No, yeah.
Unless you follow them on social media, like unless you follow Bianca or Street Profits or Liv Morgan on social media, you're not going to see Cricket for Energy is promoting a meet and greet for when they're in Nashville. You're not going to see that. Like, I had to find out from y'all, and then when we got there, we didn't find out about the Street Profits and the Liv one until we met up with. Your names are slipping me, but did you?
Well, actually, they were letting us know at the C4 people were letting us know because they were passing out the flyers.
Yeah,
but they did kind of
give us their name, but I was like, ooh, I forgot. My bad.
Shout out my boy from Memphis. You know what I'm saying? He know who I'm talking about, man. Because I'm sure we're gonna make sure he see this. You know what I'm saying?
But, you know what I mean? That's why I'm like, ooh, you know these names are slipping me because keep in mind,
we've been meeting a lot of people over the weekend, man, literally. And so we gonna. If we don't say y'all by name, y'all know who we talking about because y'all interacted with us and we interacted with y'all. So
like we went big time. Like we was literally like if you walked up to us, we was like, hey, what's up?
What's happening? You know what I mean? And we'll get into that interaction some more. But yeah, that Bianca line was no joke. It was snaked out, and shoot, we didn't get out of here until basically the end of that event.
To dark, yeah.
Yeah. Which Gresh here has a funny story on that one.
Listen,
carry on, Gresh.
Listen, I need everybody who works behind the scenes who takes pictures. I'm gonna need y'all to practice taking pictures. So basically, when you get up there, you can't touch people. Like that's a given. Like don't touch these people. If you don't know them, don't touch them. So what they did was they said, okay, have your phones ready. I had my phone ready, flash on, everything was ready to go. Soon as I got up there, it was dark. So for some reason, they didn't think, okay, it might get dark. So let's get some lights up top just in case. So we can flick them on and it'll be easy for these pictures to get taken. Nope. Because when you're taking a picture with, in this case, Bianca, they have a LED board right behind them with their Titantron / C4 plug playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark, so all you see is a Tron. And keep in mind, me and Bianca, we black. We got the same complexion. So unless we have light, we're gonna look like floating figures in front of an LED board. Same with Hi-Lite and even Daryl.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, they took the picture. And I'm like, I saw the flash go off, but they did not take the proper picture. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so basically the picture that I got from Bianca was literally just me and her smiling. You saw teeth because we got them pearly whites.
Right.
But that was it. Like you didn't see her title, you didn't see her fit, you didn't see her face, you didn't see my face. We was just standing there looking like two shadows in front of an LED board. And I'm like, normally the old me, like when stuff like technical stuff goes haywire, I'll probably be like, this is bull to take this again. I was just like, Because it's like, what can you do? Like you can't get mad. It's like
how I put it when I told the fella. I was like, well, you get what you pay for, and it was a free meet and greet. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that were something we paid for, it'd been like, nah, bro, hold on, we gotta
do this again. We gotta run this back.
That ain't right.
This ain't it. But it was free. It was like they was rushing. They was trying to get everybody in and out, which I understand. Like next, I think going forward, if that is the case, they need to, and that's just for every meet and greet host.
Yes.
If you have LEDs and it's outside, add an additional lights, up lights, LED lights where you could drop down from the truck. You could turn them off when the sun is out, but when it starts getting dark and people are still out, you make it easy for they can just flip that switch. You still got some proper lighting, and then boom.
We also learned another handy trick for these type of situations. Okay. Want to shout out one of our guys for sure, because we're going to talk about that in the next meet and greet. But we found out a nice little trick when it comes to taking these quick meet and greet photos. Ladies and gentlemen, just put up your camera. And when you pull up your camera, just go to record. Tell them to do the video option and have them take pictures through the video option. That way you get a quick 5, 10, 15-second video and a picture, multiple pictures in the process, depending on the person who took your picture. Smooth. You know what I mean? We found that out the next day with the other set of meet and greets.
Shout out Hunter.
Hunter! My boy.
I had to look up IG. I'm like,
look it up. Hunter. Shout out to our boy Hunter, man. Hunter, hey, you were a true dope dude to meet, man. We met this guy the next morning.
This ain't C4.
It ain't C4, but the next morning we met you, man, and we just had awesome conversation. And shout out to your girl as well, because we got to meet Liv Morgan thanks to your girl holding us a spot.
Shout out Emily.
To do that. Emily.
That's his girl.
So Hunter and Emily, hey, y'all the goats of the evening, man. Thank y'all so much for helping us make that even more of a successful weekend. But yeah, so the Bianca meet and greet was cool. Outside of that, you know, I mean, she was definitely a humble, awesome woman.
She said, "What's up?" Like you easily like she'll just say have full like even for the split second that you had to take pictures. She's like, "Hey, how's it going? I like your fit." And then like there was no a big head about her. Like she was laughing at everybody, laughing with everybody. By the time we got up there, so it's like. Same with Liv Morgan when we get to her. So it's like these wrestlers are pretty chill. If you're not bothering them.
And you can tell they're well trained through this. I mean, this is all what they get prepped for, and I mean, it shows the professionalism they have doing this on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So shout out to Bianca Belair for just being an awesome woman. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for just even taking the time to do that, the autographs, all that. Especially the kids, man. I know we enjoyed seeing the kids and how they reacted to just seeing their favorite wrestler, and just like all those things. So dope. And that was pretty much it. Night one was then just
we went to the strip. We went to the strip, which did we?
Go ahead, Greg.
Did we? Did we? I'm drawing a blank for. Oh, we walked all through the strip. And you saw that one dude. I posted it. If you follow me on IG, I don't ever I post pictures with no context. So if you look at my stories, it's up for interpretation on my. If it's not promoting, I post pictures with no context. We watched one dude. He walked up. He literally said, "Why lie? I need weed." He was he asked for he was asking money for some weed because it was just like, okay. He's like. I'm not finna lie and say I'm hungry. I want some weed because they was actually selling weed. Yeah, there was a dispensary out there. So clearly Tennessee. It's been a while since I've been home, so I didn't know what the legal laws have been out there. But it looks like Tennessee, it legally allows you to sell dispensaries and things like that of that nature. So, Gresh was like, "Hey, I need a little something, man, because this vibe is just." The strip was popping, but not for the reason. It was the most unmelanated strip in my life. I've been to multiple strips. I've been to Vegas. I've been to the French Quarter. That was the most. Everywhere we turned, we saw party bus where they was dancing like Grand Theft Auto strippers, like. No rhythm whatsoever. No rhythm. None. The beat already left, and they still trying to find it. It's gone. Let it Go.
Drunk out of their minds, just trying to do what they think is.
Then we saw
right.
someone dressed up as a grandma. I'm like, are those grandmothers?
What?
What is grandma doing on the strip?
So, ladies and gentlemen, basically, as a native of the state of Tennessee, I just want to make this very publicly known that I am from Memphis. Okay, so I am not from Nashville. All right,
I wouldn't claim that
Nashville is not my neck of the woods. Okay, so that was just as new to me. I've passed through there over the years. I've dropped people off. Shout out to my HBCU lovers out there. TSU, that's the best thing about Nashville to me personally is TSU. But aside from
Where
that,
were y'all? I bet y'all had some flavor.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Now TSU gonna have all the flavor. It's not football season, so I couldn't really show you anything TSU related.
I need to return to Nashville.
Yeah,
when it's football season.
Yeah,
because that was the most unmelanated, unseasoned, uncoordinated experience of my life.
It really was. I mean,
shout out to the gents that was playing. On the drums.
Yeah,
on the what was they using? Paint, like little buckets.
Yeah, it was like paint buckets
and percussion sticks.
Kind of like Stomp back in the day. To those who remember the Stomp days.
If you follow me on social media, I actually put it on my story.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, that shout out to it wasn't all bad. It was just the women.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like how they got that stigma where they say wrestling fans scared the bitches. The bitches were scaring me. They were scaring me more than anything.
Hey man, listen. All I can say really was being there kind of made a brother slightly uncomfortable, and I'm comfortable around most white people usually, but like slightly uncomfortable in the fact that I'm like, man, I ain't seen this deep of a sea of white people, and God knows how.
You had maybe a teardrop of black from there, a teardrop to there, right there, yeah. And we just it's like don't get it confused like we just don't like to be around white people. It's more so we want to see some people that's like us turn up, or if you are the unmelanated person, we at least want to see some rhythm. Like it's 1 in a million that I know that is of the Caucasian descent that they got some type of rhythm. Yeah. Like so when I tell you, and then it was Bridal Shower City.
It was, but I explained that to Gresh as far as like Nashville is kind of like a hybrid, secondary Atlanta / secondary Vegas Strip. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a hybrid of both cities. So a lot of people go there when they're traveling for bridal showers and bachelorette and bachelor parties, those type of things. So that's kind of what that was about. But as I told my guy Gresh, okay, now I got to take him to my city, the real side of Tennessee. I got to take him to Memphis, okay?
Yes.
Bill Street is where it's at for our people, the melanated ones, okay?
Yes.
Also, you do have white people there who do have rhythm as well, okay?
Yes. I don't discriminate against. I'm not a discriminatory person.
Yeah.
It's just if I'm a man, right, and I'm looking for a good time, but all I see is just an uncoordinated mess. I'm a panic. I'm a panic because I'm like, what's
going on?
Is going on?
Yeah.
You got a dude walking up. And then talk about the parking. Dude walking up to me parking. I thought it was somebody telling me about where I should park. Dude coming up asking me about.
He tried to give a life story, basically. Like, y'all know. I mean, listen. Nothing against anyone homeless, man. Like, look, we do our parts for the communities and everything, but like, dude, literally, we thought he was trying to like help us park or like explain the situation or something. Gresh rolls the window down and he's like, sorry, man, I just had to come see, another brother, black folk, because they
don't like the black folk. They don't like to help us. Yeah. So I was wondering if I could wash your car, wipe down your car, and get $10 for you, and then as Gresh was sitting there wondering if I should whoop his ass or just give him $10. My man, he said, you know what? He's like, I got you.
I stepped in that thing with a quickness. I was like, nah.
It's like it caught me off guard. At the same time, it was like, I feel bad for you at the same time. It's like
Me
I'm
too.
off. I got caught off guard, but I feel bad for you. But
And
it
keep
was,
in mind, my boy had to scrap. You know what I'm
I
saying?
was strapped.
My boy
I,
had
like,
to scrap.
I was scrapped out. Like,
'Cause-
I got a license to carry, and I got the right to
Yeah.
unleash some rounds if you want to test me.
And didn't you literally tell people as a PSA?
I literally put it on Twitter. I said, "Yo, if you are meeting me or if you run into me and you want to chat with me,
Oh boy.
and especially if you're the person that hides behind not hide behind, but like if you feel comfortable using your profile picture or your face as a profile picture, state your claim or get lit up, whether it's by my fist, my feet, or my Glock. Like it was one or the other. Like you gonna leave with a memory of Gresh
In some way.
in some way, shape, or form. So it's like for him to not do that, I'm like, yo,
For real, man.
how do I do this? Like put it this way, Hi-Lite saved your life because because the bag was right behind me. So all I had to do was reach back and just light you up, or I could have just bust you up with the car. But I'm like, I don't want the charge because I'm in a whole nother state.
Right.
I don't know nobody out here. I know my godmama who's out there,
Yeah.
but other than that, she probably would have been like, well, you got yourself into this.
Yeah.
Get yourself out. So he saved the day and saved the night because I was about to say, whoo,
Yeah,
boy.
and
all we did was just get our steps in. Really,
That's
on the
it.
strip.
Yeah, it was.
Like, we got Slim and is it Slim and Husky?
Slim and Huskies. Yes.
Slim and Husky.
Tried that out. Now, of course, we found out, or at least I've found out, and I'm gonna let Gresh know where this is. Apparently, we have this place here in Atlanta,
Somewhere.
somewhere. So we're gonna find out where. It was actually really good pizza place. Got the option to get thin. They call it slim.
It's slim, and then the Husky's like
Husky.
the bigger pan, like it's bigger and thicker.
Yeah.
And I got the slim. It was basically a pizza pan, like a personal pizza.
Personal pan pizza. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Got a hip hop theme to it. So shout out to Slim and Huskies for just making
The
dope
hospitality too, because we was just vibing and just walking the street. They came up there like, so what you want?
Facts. We did our thing, and then after that, just mobbing through the strip some more. Me and Gresh hit the bridge that connected to Nissan Stadium. We saw some more banners that we found because that was another thing. Talk about those banners, bro.
I don't know what it was, but Roman Reigns, they got the big banner on the stadium. Roman Reigns' banner, it was like his eye was this way, but the other eye was that way. It's like they printed him cockeyed. Cockeyed with a weird smile. I'm like, that looks weird. Like, I know that's little things to some people, but as a creative, that type of stuff catches my attention. I'm like, I think they printed that too fast because that didn't come out right. And then the one on the bridge,
Man.
Bianca smiling, she looked like Sasha.
Straight like Sasha, bro. I was like, hold up. Who is this? Is this, and then Becky?
They used that smiling face filter because Becky, the picture that they used to make her smile, she never smiled in those pictures.
Facts.
It looked like a forced smile that you just created out of thin air. It didn't even look like her teeth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I don't know, man. That was just a whole weird thing. But we were, by this point, Gresh was kind of on a cloud a little bit, slightly.
Yeah, I was on Kush.
So he was, in the vibes for real this time, and it was nighttime, so it was feeling good, breezy. Shout out to Tennessee weather for that breezy feel, with the river helping with that as well. But we just kind of took some pictures and little creative videos by that bridge, and then by that point,
we just went and crashed and waited for the next day because we. Because it was like we trying to first thing in the morning, try to get there for the next meet and greet, meet the street profits in Liv Morgan, and we got there
about 8,
and it was still a line,
but
it wasn't as long as the Bianca one.
Right. So the thing was, we got there when there was a line, and then the line was forming and only got deeper from there. Once again, it just pays. People just understand the importance of having a friend or squad with you.
This time I didn't cut. I didn't cut in front of anybody, so
yeah,
I didn't really because I was like, because I think I saw because it was somebody in front of me that had a wheelchair. I was like, I'm not gonna cut in front of you. Like, we all going to meet the same people. Like, it's not that deep. Like, I'm like, it wasn't like I was that far back, so you could still see me. So it wasn't like, we were separated. So, but we was just chilling, and then shout out to the gent that was standing next to me because we was just chopping it up about modern WWE and all that stuff because I'm used to a lot of wrestling fans talk to me to run my ear to the ground about retro wrestling. So when me and him was just chopping it up about just like Drew, he wants Drew to win the Universal Championship and all that stuff. I'm like, hey, I can see it happening. Like I was more so in my listening mode than to tell my knowledge of wrestling because I'm like, I want to hear other people's opinions.
Oh yeah, and that was again, shout out to Hunter and Emily. It's automatic. It's posted. So like we were, Hunter and Emily and a couple other guys and girls who were all grouped up, me and Daryl, and we were just kind of sitting there. We were sitting there, and as we were sitting there, we were literally just kind of like, just chopping it up about wrestling, some of our favorite moments, eras, but more specifically, a lot of guys and girls were just telling me about their experiences. Like we had a guy from New York who was telling us about The Undertaker, who had an event also that weekend, which we didn't get tickets for that, but they said tickets were expensive. They were like $100 or something like that.
It was like $175.
But they were telling us it was worth it though, because he was telling like crazy stories. Shout out to Gresh for getting the lighting back on point. He was telling us the story about how Undertaker literally, there was a lot going on. First of all, they said he invited a fan up for a shot, and the fan, for whatever freaking reason, was one of those fans who decided to make it about himself.
To liberties.
Doing tunts like The Undertaker. Literally getting on one knee as The Undertaker poured him a shot. Laying on the ground and doing the sit-up motion. Literally just doing all these things. And The Undertaker smoothly was like, and this is where you are off stage. I was like, whoa, are you serious, my dude? Like, why would you do that? You're in front of The Undertaker and you want to do this now. Like, it's not even about you, my guy. Right? Then they were saying like how even before the discussion panel started, it took so long for it to start that when it did start, the lights went out, and then Undertaker's hype man was there, right? As soon as the lights come on, he's there to introduce and say hello. Crowd is just booing, like, boo! So where Undertaker had to come out and is like, yo, why y'all booing my hype man? And I'm like, wow, yo. Like they said it was a good time for that Undertaker discussion. I mean, sure we would have loved to have been there to experience that, but I mean at the same time, from the sounds of things,
I ain't paying over $100 for no. Nah.
Yeah, that was kind of pricey.
Well, the free $3.99 is best.
It really is, because we learned, and like we still did pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We managed to get some merch and souvenirs for friends. We managed to do basically anything and everything. We got to meet people. We didn't have to pay for nothing. All we had to do was sacrifice time. Yeah. But we met people in the process.
What we gonna do? Like I'm not from Nashville, so it's not like I'm gonna go down to the strip. Like there's only so much I can do on the strip too. So it was like, hey, I wasted time, and it worked. They synced together because we did that. Mm-hmm. We met the street. We met the street probably, and it was ironic because they was trying to get everybody, because I think initially they was like, we only got 30 minutes left, and it was still a long line. Yeah. So it was like, okay, so Montez Ford, he grabbed the
little
megaphone. And he was like, we're gonna get all you guys like 2 seconds. We're gonna say a word. Like he was cool and mellow about it. Yeah. And then he got tired. He got tired of posing and then stopping. So he just said, you know what? Screw it. I'm a pose. He can talk. Let's go. And he literally stayed there the entire time. And then right before me, because this dude this dude and his girl. So she had a Bianca Belair shirt, and dude had the Bloodline shirt. And Big Dog said, wrong shirt, my guy. Wrong shirt. And then he posed. But he was mad in the picture, so he was like, but with me, he was just like, he had that pose, that point. But he was mad at dude because he saw that dude's shirt.
I said it was so funny, and I love when wrestlers do that. It just goes to show like kayfabe ain't dead, y'all. But at the same time, it was just so funny because I know when I got up there, I had like just for some reason I brought my like one of my just over it zealous MJ shirts, right?
He took one of Seth Rollins' jackets.
Actually, he took it from me. I'm just saying I've been had them, but You know what I'm saying? I was being a little flashy, you know what I'm saying, on purpose, but I did that really for my boys, the Street Profits, because I didn't think to do that with Bianca because she's flashy too, and I was like, God,
You don't want to overstay.
why didn't I do that? Well, then that's the
And then the thing is, what she wore, it wasn't even flashy.
Yeah, it was kind of basic.
She just had a dress on.
True, you know, but I'm sure she would have respected it just because, you know, she'll come out, you know, just be like, hey, you know, that's what's up, I like that. So, you know, I pull up and, you know, they you know what I'm saying, I got hyped with them, we took a nice bit. They was a cool vibe, man, and I just, you know, thanked them like, hey, man, appreciate y'all, fam. And
you had that Hit Row shirt on, didn't you?
I did, because unfortunately, I don't have. There was one Street Profit shirts I want that I can't find like that anymore, which was it was that retro Hot Boys like look that they got, where it says Street Profits on the back, but it's like it got that old 2000s like feel to it, from like the Master P Hot Boys days. Like, I'm gonna find that shirt and get it, because some of the other Street Profit shirts I don't like, but I am gonna go to Chalk Line, and I'm gonna get some of the Street Profits inspired gear they got, because that gear is fly, and it's like replica almost of like what they come out to, or what they used to come out to before they started doing like the sports team theme in their attire.
I need to find it. Whoever designed their jerseys, I need to find. Cause
facts, like WWE, why don't y'all like take what they're doing right now and sell like replicas? At least do it exclusive by the city or something. Like, you trying to sell a SummerSlam Nashville jersey, but what they came out in at the pay-per-view, I would have bought that instead.
Yeah, we can't even find Street Profits, because my thing was, if they would have won, I would have bought Street Profits merch, and I'm assuming they had merch there like pop-up stores. It was literally all the same merch.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, how you gonna have these different pop-up shops, but it's all the same merch? Like, switch it up. You got a big roster of people. Like,
it has merch.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
I wouldn't even take smile to see a Natalia shirt. I didn't even see a Natalia shirt.
Not one.
Even though she wasn't on the show, it's like, I didn't even see a Ronda Rousey shirt. And I'm not even a fan of Ronda Rousey.
Exactly. And that's what I'm just trying to understand. I'm like, yo, do y'all just select who y'all decide do y'all want to? You can't have a superstore if you got the same names in the store.
That was a mid store. Nothing super about it. That was mid.
You know, and it's not even complaint. It's just honest critique, y'all. Like, that's just our personal thought on that. Like, yo, like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, Profits need to give me some solo cups, you know, something.
Or
like,
give me a solo cup. Like, have a custom. You had a custom Roman Reigns lay.
Yeah.
But didn't have a solo cup. Or who else got something? Or something with I didn't even see nothing really for Brock Lesnar other than an action figure.
Well,
and his flannel.
They had his flannel, they had his little cowboy hat, they had Den shirt with him and Roman on it that just said I was there.
Well, I'm talking about, like, I didn't see anything. Like, they didn't give us nothing exclusive other than I was here. I'm like, and I probably should have bought that shirt that I was here, because I said, because my reason for not buying I was there shirt, because if the show was buns, I would have been heated, because I'm like, I don't want to remember that I was there, but now I want to remember that I was there. But luckily, I got this chain that I can remember that I was there, because it was actually a fun show live,
and that is just as good as anything else, because it's drip. You know what I'm saying, my friend? You good? That part,
and it's the Universal Champion representing the Tribal Chief.
Low key. You know, I had thought about getting two of those just because of the fact that they did have the black one and they had the Universal.
Oh, they had a black. I thought it was a red one.
Was it the red one?
I think that's the women's title.
I thought I saw the.
They might have had a black one.
Because if they did, because I thought someone said heavyweight championship, and if they did that, we could have just tribal chiefed it with two of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, we in here. But all in all, man, yeah, we got to meet the Street Profits, and then, like I said, shout out to Emily, because right after, Liv was like right there,
and they said,
because she was fresh out of SmackDown in Atlanta, so obviously she had to travel, get here. So when she got there, same process. Now C4, I guess they learned from their mistake with Bianca, because one, Bianca was doing autographs. Street Profits and Liv weren't doing autographs. They couldn't do autographs.
They didn't have time.
Didn't have time, right? So all they could do was pictures and slight conversation, but then even they had to speed that up to just do a quick pic, hello, and go. That then turned into Liv getting there, and it was like, hey, if you're here for just the Street Profits, this is the line. If you're here for just Liv, you have to wait in this same line, and if you're here for both, then
You have to get
you gotta
right
get back in line. That didn't make sense to me because I'm
did.
like, that means you're not gonna have a place when you gotta come live. So shout out to whoever decided, you know what, let's just make a whole different line for Liv, which is exactly what they did eventually. It took a minute, but they figured out, you know what, if you're especially just here for Liv, the line starts there.
That way you're first, and we can get you out of here.
And then they were like, you know, as far as cutting or skipping, they were like, if you are here for both, if you get your picture first with the Street Profits, make sure somebody's holding your place in line for Liv. Shout out again to Hunter and his girl Emily, because his girl Emily really, really wanted to meet Liv more than anything. That's her favorite wrestler. So I feel you, Emily. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody I was there for, also that's her favorite. So at the end of the day, I get it. You know, you want to meet who you want to meet. So she would have been cool meeting the Street Profits, but she really wanted to meet Liv. So she went ahead, kicked off the line, and then we all just buddied up and was like, hey, you know what, y'all with us. So let's, boom.
Yeah.
We didn't have to wait that long. You know what I mean? Second time around. So we got there, she got there, everybody cheered, that's and that. Then
fortunately, this person knew how to take a picture because they gave me it was just a one take for the Street Profits picture that I got with them.
see?
And arm game was on Smashes. Just that day I got some reps in. It was like 3:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically was in my rock mode because I was up at 3 a.m. clanking and banging.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back up, got some breakfast, and then we went to meet and greet. So it was like arm game was on like. Mm-hmm. You saw the traps and the pecs, and then you obviously saw me and Dawkins doing the same pose.
Oh yeah, legit, bro. I was just like that too, because it was just like a lot of times. What's so funny about these is it's so quick. You don't think of how you want to post it because you just know. All right, I got to do something real quick, like you know what I'm saying.
And I was rocking the Tribal Chiefs first shirt, so I had to do a point, but it's funny because that picture didn't even look like I had on a tribal. It looked like I had on a regular black hoodie. And then Liv's, that's when we found out about the video. So we said record the video.
Well, actually, I had found out.
Oh, that's when I was able to do it.
Yeah, because I was able to get the video portion with the Profits while also getting the photos. Then I kind of told Gresh about it, and he was able to do that with Liv. So going forward,
that's how we're gonna do it.
That's how we're gonna do it.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Record it.
Just record it. Take pictures like that.
I was like, record it and then stop.
Yeah.
Record it and stop when we walk off.
Yeah,
that's it. And that's how they did it. Because they called me and Liv's brief interaction. I was like, hey, what's up? She's like, hey, I like your big belt. Because she wanted to say big gold, but she couldn't think about it. So she said big belt. And I said, congrats on the championship. And then we posed, and then we toasted with the C4, because that's all we had was literally, I had a C4 in this hand, C4 in this hand, and I gave her, we both gave the piece. And that is how you take a picture with a woman that is a wrestler. If you are a gentleman that is out there trying to do a prom picture without their consent, that's how you take the picture. Literally, that's it. It's that simple. Like and then we walked off. Like she had a big smile on her face. We had a brief conversation. Will she remember it? Probably not. Will I remember it? Sure, because it was a cool interaction. It wasn't toxic. It wasn't no controversy. It was literally like, and then we kept it pushing.
I mean, it's the same. You know, I pull up. She said, first thing, you know, standing out. She's like, hey, like your outfit. Like, hey, like your outfit. You know, she had a nice, bright, you know, get up.
She looked like a highlighter.
Yeah. So I was just like, hey, well, I like your outfit too, you know. And then took a nice picture, you know what I'm saying? Like Gresh, just simple, nice deuce and a smile. Got a quick moment to just tell her, you know, like, she's my girl's favorite wrestler. Told my girl say hello. Told my girl that, and she just burst out in tears through a gift. So it's just like, hey, at the end of the day, mission accomplished. You know, I wish I could have got an autograph for her, but like I said, because of how high demanding things were, they couldn't do autographs that day. But it worked out. You know what I'm saying? So with all of that, that was the meet and greet side of things. And by that point, shoot, we were kind of just
we were just killing time because we decided to get to the arena early because getting into a stadium show is a hassle by itself.
Yeah. So
we was just chilling. We went right back to the superstore. That's when you got the rest of the stuff. That's when you got the rest of the stuff, and we was taking more pictures. And people, I took a picture because we was doing double pictures because he he had my big gold belt, and then I had his Life's a Botch belt.
Mhm.
And I took a picture with my arms out, and a lot of people was like, "Oh, mini tribal chief, mini tribal chief." You're telling your age that you don't know your history. I was mocking or recreating Raven's pose.
Thank you.
I was recreating Raven. It wasn't.
And we probably didn't think of that, but we even could have recreated Mr. Y2J cocky version from 2002.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, when you see my arms like that, it's like Roman did it one time. And I think he did it when his arm was hurting, so he couldn't really shoot his arm up.
Yeah.
So he just did it slow, and then I guess to prep himself.
Yeah.
So, but then after that, he just goes straight into it. So it was a one-time thing. I guess because I had the wreck everyone and leave. They was like mini tribal chief. That's not a knock, but that's literally it was Raven. That was me basically recreating Raven. Yeah.
It was a fun experience, and then at that point, like he said, we were killing time, and then we found out there was a bunch of festivities going on, like
the
on
Peacock
pre-party. It was a pre-party, and
you had the option to either get snow cone, soda, water, Diet Coke, or alcohol.
Right.
For those of you who know me on social media, I know I stopped drinking alcohol over a month ago. He doesn't drink alcohol, so we both got. You got water. I got a Pepsi. I never finished Pepsis because I'm not a soda drinker like I used to be. Like I'll drink it if it's there, but I never finish. I never finish a Pepsi.
Yeah,
I'll probably finish an orange soda because who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. But it's like a Pepsi. Nah. And then we got the snow cone. We had the Belair, which was it, and I never knew you could put whipped cream on
a snow cone. Yeah, that was new to me too.
And but then you mixed it.
Yeah,
it was smoother to consume.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and they put a nice little stick crown on it. You know what I'm saying? They give it that whole Fresh Prince vibe. But yeah, all of their snow cones are just basically themed after what Peacock is over.
And then we took the pictures. You did DX. Oh, you did DX, and Daryl did the Triple H.
I want to say he did, yeah.
He did and I did the Shawn Michaels. People were like, "Why you look gassed?" And I'm like, "Bro, I was legit tired at that point. The sun was beaming in my face. I was still tired from the night before, so and still tired from the gym a little bit because I did go a little bit overboard. So I was hanging on by a thread.
Shoot,
so
boy, I'm still feeling it now, boy. We was because me and Gresh both had that early morning grind because I got up not so long ago after he did and kind of realized he was going, and I was like, shoot, I got my headphones. We went in leg day for me, so. That was probably smart, seeing as how we did a whole lot of walking.
So that just
added to the soreness. Yeah, I was walking like it was nothing, you know what I'm saying? But it was just one of the things where I'm feeling it now because of the fact of all the walking on top of working out. So it was just like, well.
That was a choice.
It was, you know what I'm saying? But look, at the end of the day, it was worth it. And so the pre-cop party. Then there were other booths and stands we checked out.
Like they tried to get us to do the NFT. What was the
wallet
moonsault or something like that. The WWE moonsault. She said NFT and I blacked out. I was like, I don't give a shit.
Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, I'm still trying to figure out what an NFT really is.
Like,
what's the purpose of it right now?
It's like I'm like,
it's like I'm good.
And I tried to get into it, but I was like, this is literally foreign to me. So I'm
me too, because I really was interested,
because my boy because BK was like, look into it, like it's the future, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking into it. I'm like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either, bro. Because I was as an artist, they were saying like, if you're an artist, this is definitely like, y'all know me, y'all know I'm Hi-Lite Real when I'm not, being up here being the Prince of Botch with y'all. So y'all know like doing music, they say, hey, as an artist, you can make some serious money off NFTs. I'm like, okay, let me look this up. What is this? What does it do?
Yeah, they got NFT artists. Because I remember that NFT artist that called out Rhea Ripley for stealing her look on Twitter one time. I'm not going to say her name because she wants that attention, but yeah, she was trying to call it. I'm like, you act like you're the only person that did that. But she was like, when you look at her bio, she was an NFT artist. And I'm like, the hell's an NFT artist?
Exactly.
Like she was an NFT singer or something. I'm like, what is an NFT? What?
My point exactly.
So when she said that, I blacked out. And then we saw that truck.
Yeah, so we saw the truck. It was a SummerSlam truck. They were playing a bunch of wrestling things, which we heard. We weren't aware that they were giving away free things, though.
Right.
So
and they didn't make a PSA about it. So
no, not at all. And by the time we realized it, there was already mosh pit like crowd in front of us. We couldn't really get close enough to try to grab things.
And then we saw the kids. It was like, y'all come, y'all get.
Yeah, and then they ran out of merch, so we were just like, oh well.
Yeah, we saw that other truck behind us. That where they was playing old WWF footage.
Yeah, we saw that. We went over there, and they were just telling us like, hey, just subscribe to us, and you get like free this and that. And we were like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? Just kind of walked around some more, checked out some other stuff. Let me see, was there anything else interesting out there that they had going on? I think by that point, we were really just kind of chilling and waiting on the doors. Oh, well, C4 again.
More C4. More
C4. C4 were the MVPs literally of that entire weekend because they were everywhere. Everywhere. Like, and I do mean everywhere, not just the stand and the people. I'm talking about the doggone energy drink too. Everywhere.
Literally, like shout out Daryl because he said I'm C4'd out.
we were like,
it's like, and then they would get to the point where they was like, you need another C4. I'm still drinking this one. Why do I look like I need, bruh? And then what irritated me the most was they would offer that to me, and I ain't had nowhere to put it. So I said, well, y'all got a book bag? They said, oh, we ran out. Well, offer me that again when you give me some book bags. Because I am not going to walk around with a whole bunch of C4.
Legit. Like, it's like, bro, I got signs in my hand. I got this belt in my hand. You want me to have some C4 in my hand too? No, I only got 2 hands and 2 arms, bro. I can't carry all this. Like, you know, stop.
And then we couldn't even take it into the arena.
Legit. So it was pointless. It was
pointless.
Like, we couldn't take the thing into the arena. So I'm just like, yeah, no, this is not it. So... yeah, C4, shout out to y'all, but they had this nice little circular.
And then this lady, she was like, she's like, when it's all over, I'm gonna give you a case. And I looked at her and I said, I'm gonna give it right back. Like, what am I doing with this?
Oh boy, yeah. At the end of the day, that was just kind of how that went. So we, you know, by this point, doors were getting ready to start opening, you know, and the sea of people were just everywhere waiting to enter into this stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out my boy Dalt, Phoenix Nitro, one of the biggest YouTube content creators out there. Mm-hmm. I didn't know he was there. I knew Simply Better AM or Aaron. I knew he was going to be there because he put on Twitter. He's like, "Hey, anybody going on?" I'm like, "I'll see you there." And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna link up." And then Aaron and Dalt hit me up in Twitter. We exchanged numbers and I texted him and he was like, "So what's going on?" I said, "Peacock pre-party." I mean, if you're into country music and snow cones, he just busted out laughing. So it's like, because me and him was gonna link up anyway, because we always have good conversations behind the scenes, and whether it's on Discord, Twitter, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he be going through his own thing because he was going through a creative block recently. Mm-hmm. So, and instead of being like a lot of people be like, "Hey, you gonna when is the next video? When is this, that, and third?" I'm like, "Hey, you good?" Mm-hmm. So me and him are slowly growing a friendship behind the scenes. Facts. But me and him linked up. I didn't realize that dude was that goddamn tall. That dude is tall. Like, if you stand up next to me, you a few inches taller than me. He's like a few inches taller than you. Yeah. And I'm like, God damn. Like, I'm not looking up at him, but I'm like, damn, bro, you tall. But yeah, me and him linked up. He was on the first row. I was like, damn, you down here. I'm up top. So this leads into SummerSlam. We might as well talk a little bit about SummerSlam. They had a DJ kick us off because a lot of people didn't realize. Because I put on Twitter, I was like, he's playing Stone Cold, but not Disturbed version. L. And they was like, who? I was like, it's a DJ? Yeah, they gave us a DJ for the pre-show. Mm-hmm. But because there's no match during the pre-show now, so he was just playing mixes. Like, he played a Bianca mix. What was it? Whoop That Trick.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty creative. Putting the two Tennessee vibes together. The EST of Tennessee, and then one of the most creative songs to come out of Memphis, Tennessee. So you take those two, put them together, and it was like,
I kind of wanted her to come out to that.
That was kind of cool. It was a nice blend. I mean, my only beef was you couldn't literally put "Whoop That Trick" the chant in there because I'm like,
too many white people.
I was like,
too many white people.
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is where if this event was at FedEx Forum and he did that, oh man, my city would have. Let's go. Whoop that trick. Let's go. Whoop that trick. Let's go. We would have had that thing lit, boy. You would have had folks like, oh my God, what are they doing? Like, if you were not from Memphis in that arena, you were like, oh my God, I'm scared. What are we doing?
Oh no. We do that in Atlanta too. So we were joined in like,
hello, what's going on? What is this down here? Like, what is with this? Yeah, I'm talking about my whites, my non-melanated people.
See, I've been saying, I don't know where I got it from, but I was like, also all these white people with unseasoned white people. But no, if they would have played that, they would have been so confused. They would have been like, "Are we in the right place?
Yeah, what's going on?" But
come on, Sally, cover your ears.
But Valentino Khan, DJ Valentino Khan, he did a nice blend of things.
In relation to Tony Khan,
we're trying to figure out. Let us know. But he did a nice little job. I mean, he gave us, I like the Latino Heat mix he did where he had Latino Heat play and then he like blended like Latino music into it with Latino Heat repeating. And so like
he did Latino and he did the WCW thing. So he did 2 Eddie Guerreros.
He did 2 Eddie Guerreros. He was doing a lot of dope gracious. He just basically gave you a little bit of all worlds.
And he did
some rock country.
He did a remix to Randy Orton's voices too. I can't remember the song he remixed it with, but it was a nice little smooth turn. Mm-hmm. Dude's good. Dude's good. Like, yeah, it was good. I appreciate him. And then we got to the show.
Yeah, we got to the show, and
from live. It was a fun experience. The sun was cooking the hell out of me, so I had to go. Yeah, I had to go get some food because I'm like I gotta get out this heat because if you're sitting in that heat and you expect this show to go 4-ish hours because it started at 7 and ended at 11 that time. So midnight. Midnight our time. So it was like, okay, this heat is gonna drain me, and it kind of did. So I was like, let me go get some food. The Joker was $18.51. I ate that shit slow and steady. I was going to savor every cent that I put into that. I ate it. I'm like, I'm eating it slow, and I drank that water slow because it became $18.50 because I got a bottle of water, which was Dasani. So it's already a struggle for me to drink Dasani because it's salty as hell.
Exactly.
So I'm like, all right, I spent the money. I eat it. I ate that joke. It was good though. I ain't gonna lie. I had some nice little barbecue sauce with it. Yeah, nice little dip. Boom. So the show started. We started off with Becky and Bianca, and those ladies killed that. Mm-hmm. And Becky came out just dressed out of pocket as ever. I was like, God. I was like, woman, what are you? That was my first thought. Woman, what are you wearing?
Yeah,
that was
outrageous, man. What do you say?
Now, like, if you want to break down, you're not really getting it. This is pretty much our live experience.
Probably give them a breakdown, though.
No, probably after we watch the TV.
Watch it back. Yeah, give them a breakdown. But Bianca, of course, going with the Nashville-like theme, gave you some cowboy-like attire in a jean kind of way. And yeah, it was just overall a banger from live experience. Kind of like Gresh said, that sun was definitely hidden as it was starting to go down. Luckily, I had my signs, and I had to just use that as my shade point to block the sun because it felt a little breezier. But I couldn't wait for that sun to go down because I knew that river breeze was going to make the rest of that night so smooth.
And it did.
And it very much did because that breeze was hidden all night. So, but the light unfortunately killed that vibe.
Yeah.
So
as soon as it got dark, oh my God, it's gonna be me versus the light technician at Survivor Series. Because boy, what the hell was that light? Like, it's like I understood they wanted to, from a presentation standpoint, they wanted the crowd to look alive because it was basically covering our side with a white light. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna do that, at least turn it down a little bit. Like, it was glaring. It seemed like the higher you were, the brighter it was. So I had to. So I sucked it up until it got to the Theory versus Lashley match, which I walked out on because I don't care for Theory like that. And I probably would have sat there if that light wasn't in my eyes. I said, I can't take this. I'm like, oh, it's Theory. All right, I'm going to take a break.
Yeah.
And I linked up with Dalt and Aaron, and that motherfucker tall too. So I'm like, God damn, how short am I? But it was like, okay, cool. But it's like, what was it? I didn't realize until halfway through the show that we was gonna be watching the same feed as Peacock.
Yeah.
So that means we had to deal with the camera cuts.
Pretty much.
And I was like, "Hey, yo, Kevin Dunn, chill the hell out, dog."
Yeah, that was annoying. Which is why it was like the end I was on, the light was still a bit of a problem, but not as much
So
per se.
pretty much everybody up top had to look at the side.
Yeah,
We couldn't look straight at the ring. Like we wasn't looking at the ring. We tried to. We could still see the ring clear as day.
Yeah,
as far as like where we were, but that light is just you will literally. It is never recommended for anybody to have light in their eyes an extended period of time because it'll mess with your pupils. It'll mess with your eye socket itself because if you have too much pressure, it'll tense it up.
Yeah, to
where you won't be able to keep it open.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't even put yourself through that. So we all did this, or in my case, I just went to the bottom of the stairs and just stood there. It was still bright, but it wasn't as bright.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it was just different ways we had to do it, and we made it work.
So if y'all gonna be in the UK next month, I'm gonna need y'all to chill on the lights.
Big facts, bro. So I mean, as we just kind of skimming.
But that Spanish fly into the KOD from Bianca, I wasn't expecting that. That was crazy.
That was nice. That was a very nice Spanish fly, and I was just like, and I don't think she's ever attempted to do that in a while. She did that in like NXT every now and then, but it's
been a minute because I'm like, she did a Spanish fly.
Yeah,
and then I had to look at the old man. I was like, oh yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, I remember she's done it before, and it was like, oh, I love when a wrestler does that when they don't do something for a long period of time and then decide to like break it out for that big stage event. Like, haven't done this in a while. Y'all remember this? Hardcore fans, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. And then obviously Bianca retained against Becky, and this beef between Bianca and Becky started with a handshake last year at SummerSlam with the 26 seconds, and it ended with a handshake. And this time Bianca was hesitant because she was like, "You sucker punch me." So it was storytelling right there, which I'm a sucker for. I love me some storytelling. So it and they're in respect. They both gained mutual respect with each other. And then I rejoiced because
we all did. Yes,
I put out a tweet last month saying, "The day Bayley returns, I will rejoice." And to tell you I rejoiced in 4K is an understatement because I yelled. I'm like, I know people know I love Sasha. People know I love Becky. Even when she's out of pocket, I still love her. And I tolerate Charlotte because I have no choice. But Bayley is always the one that I always enjoyed in-ring wise. And then when you added the role model gimmick in 2020, 2019, 2020, when she turned heel, that's when she finally found her.
Yeah. Facts.
So when she went down with injury, that was a bummer. It was supposed to be 9 months, but it's been well over a year. But she's back now with Triple H in charge. And Triple H, speaking of Triple H, Hunter, he's in his bag because she didn't come alone.
Boy,
she came with King Coda.
Come on now,
Dakota Kai. She was released, so I was like, that was a genuine shot. I was like, Dakota. I'm like, let's go.
And I told Gresh at first when I saw that, I thought, because I was looking at that font wrong because I saw the Kai, but I'm looking at, because it took a minute for me to realize that said Dakota Kai. I'm thinking they were talking about Kavita Kai or Davita Kai, the Indian wrestler that was like a female Great Khali, basically, in a sense. But I'm like, she's still there? I thought they got rid of her or something.
And it said Dakota. And then it wasn't if you watch 2.0, they gave her a scream effect in her remix version. But this one was the clear version that we haven't heard in a minute. So I was like, genuine surprise. But they wasn't even alone.
Yeah.
We had the Genius of the Sky, Io Shirai, a.k.a. new name, Io Sky. And if you had to rank the pops that everybody got, you had Bayley, Io, then Dakota. Because Dakota's was more so, we popped, but it was shock. Because it was like, whoa, what? Whereas Io was like, we knew she was coming at some point, but we just didn't know she was coming. Like, I know it was rumors going around like she wanted to go to Japan. I don't listen to rumors like that, but it was like, she's here, she's on Raw. But when you look at that Raw roster now, That's the roster stacked.
Bruh.
I still feel bad for SmackDown though because they ain't really got nobody.
We'll
so
see.
Hopefully Triple H.
We'll see. Because
Hopefully Triple H.
You know they're looking at it.
Hopefully
man.
Triple H balance it out because that is hell lopsided.
They're gonna find a way to get SmackDown a little love soon. But right now,
Raw is cooking.
Raw,
you got Bianca, Becky, Bayley. Good Lord, those three names alone. Io, Dakota, the coldest. AK, shout out to the Public Enemy podcast. The coldest Kodakai. Then you got, I guess you can say undercard. Oh, Oscar's the top card.
Oscar,
Rhea Ripley. Then you have to go down. Oh, Alexa Bliss is in limbo. So
she's
Alexa Bliss,
half and half, yeah.
So Alexa Bliss, Dana, Nikki Cross, Doudrop, Tamina. Am I missing somebody?
I want to say that's it as far as Raw goes. That should be everybody.
And if I miss somebody, y'all can correct me. And then SmackDown pretty much got Ronda, Liv, Charlotte when she comes back. You got Shotzi, Sonya Deville, Shayna, Natalya.
And then Sasha and Naomi technically still, because they're not really removed. It's
more of a waiting game with them, what they're doing.
We're just going to wait to see.
Wait to see with that. But yeah, Raw, that's how they started. And then the next match was the second match. It was basically a Fortnite match. It was Logan Paul versus The Miz. And I ain't going to lie to you, I couldn't even pay attention to the first half of the match because I was still buzzing off of Bayley and the stable.
Facts.
I'm like...
A lot of us were. I mean, it was kind of like, that from a crowd's perspective... It was Miz. No, I'm not gonna lie. At least my section anyway. Miz actually got a really nice pop.
Oh, we got a pop by us too because his theme song goated.
Yeah, it's goated. Like you heard that theme, everybody gave him a nice pop, and then Logan comes out. I don't know about that end where you was at. Over here, it didn't seem like all that great. But
everybody around my section was booing Logan Paul, and I'm like, I don't hate him. Mm-hmm. So it was like I didn't even say nothing because I'm like,
we'll just see how it
play out. And obviously, and it's funny how they literally got the crowd to do a 180 in my section. Everybody in my section was booing, but then when that match ended, everybody in my section was cheering.
Oh yeah, because when he did that frog splash from that top rope like that, boy,
that man got
everybody went, whoa, holy, and it just from there he just earned everybody respect. So
Logan Paul, he got something to keep your brother away though, but Logan Paul. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's all I could put out. I was like, Logan Paul's a beast because it's like I'm put it this way. Everybody's hatred for Logan Paul, I don't have it because I've never followed their content. I never heard of Sidemen with him and KSI until 2 weeks ago because I'm like, and they've been around on YouTube around the same time as I've been on. So I'm like, I just don't pay attention to like unless it's my content or people I personally rock with. Or it's somebody I meet they say, hey, check out my content. I don't go searching for a lot of stuff. I didn't find out about KSI until the pandemic. So 2020.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this hatred for Logan Paul, I don't really comprehend it. I mean, I get it for what he did because I know about the story because my sister watches their content, their type of content. So she'll probably tell. If I don't know by my own accord, she'll tell me. But this was a fun match, and obviously they're setting up AJ Styles with the champion because AJ Styles interfered. He played his music play. I was like, huh?
Yeah, we were all.
I thought somebody pressed the button by mistake.
Yeah, like, bro, I remember like here we are, we watching the match, we chilling, and then all of a sudden I hear, crazy, and I'm like, what? Because I was like,
because they didn't play his graphics or nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, did somebody press the button by mistake?
And I'm like, AJ's not on the card tonight. So what's going on? And all of a sudden,
he just came out with a phenomenal form, and then Logan Paul hit a flying form. They tried to say phenomenal form, but that was a flying form. It was not any phenomenal. It was nothing phenomenal about it. It was just a form. It was smooth though.
It was smooth, yeah.
But it wasn't. You can't call everything a phenomenal form. It was just a flying. It was a springboard form because he was kind of stiff with it. So. And that just comes with the territory. He'll probably get phenomenal with it as time goes on if he sticks to it. But the next match, what was the next match? It was it?
That was Bobby in Theory. Right?
Oh yeah, that's when I walked out. I'm gonna get to what happened during the match, but I walked up. Me, Dalton, Aaron met up and linked up, and I met a few indie wrestlers that friends of theirs, Crush and I forgot the other gentleman's name. That is my bad, but it was cool. About Aaron was like, you smoke? I was like, yeah, I got cuss right now. I do not watch wrestling sober. I'm just telling you that I don't do alcohol, but no. But what happened with that match?
I can barely tell you because it was like a cup of coffee, to be completely honest. I mean, I'll drink to that, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, my guy, all I know is Theory tried to basically cheat his way through this by basically attacking Lashley from behind with the briefcase, beating him down, getting the heel heat. And then from there, he barely got any offense because it was all Lashley from there. And then before you know it, Theory tried something, it got countered into a hurt lock, and that was it. He tapped like with a quickness. The moment that thing was locked in, he was like, no, I'm missing. That's it. And shout out to Bobby Lashley for that epic entrance because he was the first person with pyro for the
man.
night.
That thing almost
he did that
blew my ear up. I was like, what?
I was like,
because remember we went to the Dollar Tree and I bought earplugs. I'm like, stadium pyro was different, and then I had it in the first match, but I ain't see no pyro, not even no opening pyro. It was just a show. So I was like, okay, so no pyro. All right. I was expecting smoke. I ain't see no smoke. Then Lashley came, doom, 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 doom. I'm like, oh, shit.
I was like,
that threw me out. I was like, bro, I ride with you, Bobby, but I died.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny.
Remember Iron Man when that meme where he sticks his hand out and it's that would have felt like, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one thing to see Bobby's entrance on TV, but in person, it's even more epic just because you're like
Bobby, and then the crowd. Like I heard as soon as he came out, like the pop.
Yeah, like people love Bobby, man, and I love to see it. I really do, man. I'm just glad that
he's reached his
he's finally reached that final form where everybody loves him. So I hope.
He's in the title picture soon, like the world title picture soon. He need to get that title back that he never technically lost because he wasn't paying for it.
Yeah, he needs that title back some kind of way. I don't know how. Realistically, he can beat Roman if you do it the right way and build the right kind of story with it, especially, as we just said, with the fact he never lost the title. So,
there's your story.
You know, find some way to make that happen. If Drew doesn't take the title from him at Clash of the Castle, then find a way to get Lashley to do it. Or, I mean, if they're trying to do it with Cody, but you got a while if you're trying to do that.
I mean, January, because I'm pretty sure his purple tick don't healed up by now.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you're talking 2 titles here. You can't just give both to one person. Like you gotta get.
They need to hurry up and get rid of like. They did the undisputed title thing, but it's not working.
Yeah, so it's like if you're gonna do that, like split it up. Let Lashley, if you want Roman to lose them both, let Lashley beat him for one. And if you're gonna do Cody, let it be Cody or let it be Drew, whoever you decide. You know? But that's all I can think of as far as legit contenders.
Next up, we had the Judgment Day and against the Mysterios. I didn't watch this match either because I saw it on Raw, so it really didn't feel like anything different happened.
No, I mean I just watched it.
And then that's another thing. Why were they tagging in and out in no DQ match?
No clue, man.
Because isn't like if you're a tag, I'm not going to explain tag team rules, but if you're tagging in and out, and if you both are double teaming, you can't count me out and DQ me because there's no DQ. So why am I in? Yeah. Why am I tagging in and out? I can just light them up.
A Texas tornado is what
without like it should have just been a Texas because I never understood tagging during a no DQ tag match. It never made sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. They kind of lose those principles from time to time. Even under Triple H, that's a principle.
That's just in general because I've seen that done in other companies too. So I'm like, if it's no DQ, I'm not tagging in and out. We both gonna be in this ring, whether you like it or not. You can't do nothing but count the pin. You can't DQ me or count me out. So,
so clearly the biggest part of this is what everybody was waiting for and really expected.
That was Edge. Well, this was the part of the show where the light was really on. People wasn't even paying attention to the match because of the light.
The lights.
So if you heard like faint chants of turn off the lights, or AEW. Now people who chant AEW they got shut down instantly because it's like, bro, their production is not perfect either. So shut the hell up. But it was like you could people barely pay attention to them. It wasn't the fact that people weren't trying to look at the match. They was irritated with the lights, and then obviously it started glitching out, and we had the return of, I guess you could say, just Edge, because it wasn't Rated R Superstar. It was Brood Edge, because it was a remix theme of the Brood. That's what people were telling me, because I couldn't process his music because the light was just annoying me the entire time, so I couldn't have time to process anything.
He's like a remix theme / just, demonish Edge and something. We're gonna find out more about it as it goes along.
So, do you think this can kill the rumors of the Fiend or Bray Wyatt coming back?
Quite possibly. Who knows? Really, he's an expensive guy at this point, so you're gonna have to come up with some serious change, which we know they can, but they're trying to also save budgets.
Yeah, so, save budget while making more than enough. But yes, I think they heard that. And obviously the Mysterios beat the Judgment Day, or should I say the Jobber Day, because they stayed losing. They lost on Raw and they lost on SummerSlam. So
yeah.
And then I like that, like the idea that I said in the car. Like at this point, it's like if y'all just want to just keep Damian and Rhea dark, just have Rhea be the focal point, and have Damian be like her heavy. And you can either turn back Finn into a babyface or just do whatever you want with him, because it's not really doing anything for me at this point, because they're just losing at this point. And it comes back to what I've been saying on this podcast: if you constantly lose, I don't care. That's just me. What happened next? Was it?
I believe that was Corbin. And
Happy Corbin and Pat McAfee.
Yes.
They had a choir singing Bum Ass Corbin. I'm like, damn, y'all church folks cussing?
Yeah. Legit.
Bum Ass Corbin. I don't know where I heard it from. I thought it was a part of his intro, like his music, and I was like, and I didn't realize it was a choir there until Pat made his entrance. I was like, where's that coming from? And then his theme song, I'm like, I'm gonna need them to release that song. Like, I give Def Rebel crap, and rightfully so, because most of the music, like Logan Paul's theme, is generic as hell. And it's like a creative wrestler from WWE 2K.
Work on that, please.
Work on that, please. Like, go back to the lab. That shit was deep fried buns. But they need that was one of those. It was good. He said, "Let's go," and then it turned into like a chant. So I got to hear it again, but I like that. And then the match itself, did you pay more attention to it than I did? Because I was kind of still dealing with the lights.
It was solid in terms of, you had a few, like McAfee hopped the turnbuckle in a slight botch-like way, which darn near could have, like, injured him or some of that nature. But he was able to recover, and I think Corbin actually helped to save him.
A little bit.
But, nice spot. Don't know how I felt about the ending of it. I thought that was a little bit kind of like...
was he trying to do a Panama Sunrise or something?
Yeah, he did something along those...
Or was it a sunset flip powerbomb? It didn't look...
like something that would have beat Corbin, truthfully.
Right.
Kind of looked a little weak for that to be like a finish to that, but I was like, okay. I, for one, thought he was just going to do like the football punt or something.
He did to the balls.
True.
When the referee I think Corbin ran into the ref and Pat turned around and he said, "Boom!" He punted him literally in the balls.
True.
In the Yambad region, as Saz would say.
Yeah. But it was overall pretty solid. Like I was telling Gresh and them on the way back, like guys like Corbin and Miz don't get enough credit for what they do, especially Corbin, whether you like him or hate him. The guy knows how to put someone over, and for that matter, just carry something if need be. Regardless if you just not a fan of his or not, like, you gotta respect the guy. You know what I'm saying? He's grown a lot tremendously. Whether you like the gimmick he has now or not, is just...
I'm more of a bum-ass Corbin fan myself, so...
Yeah.
Because it was comedic, but you just
that
roll
was
the punches.
Genius. I like the Lone Wolf Corbin in terms of, like, a serious character,
right,
personally, but I get it. Either way, Corbin as a whole Great job, man. Same thing with Miz.
I would rank the Logan and Miz match over because it took me quicker to get into that one as opposed to
for sure
the Pat and Corbin match.
Absolutely, yeah, I totally agree with that. So moving on, I think after this we had the Street Profits and the Usos, did we?
I believe so. Let me clarify because I was semi-live tweeting because I was just giving my thoughts while I was there. And I was irritated with with the lights the entire time.
That light was literally the vibe killer.
Oh, and also they said Michael Cole was like hella body. We still got to hear the call.
Yeah.
Because Michael Cole was on in his bag.
And that's why we're gonna give you guys a real review once we go back and look at the version of commentary, because that's the only difference with live experience. Obviously, you're there with the crowd, so you're more so knowing the crowd experience. But
you're not really paying attention to like production and nothing that stuff. You just there with the vibes, really.
Exactly. So,
and at that point, I was kind of cushed out of my mind, so I was literally laughing at everything.
Legit, my guy.
But then next up we got the Undisputed Tag Team title match, which was the Usos defending against the Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to rank this match compared to the Money in the Bank, I would still take their Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, I'd say the Money in the Bank definitely was the better still, but this one wasn't bad. It was
no. It was actually good. It was. I actually recorded a few of my reactions of because I thought it was it. That final false finish with the streak where they did the cash out and the From the Heavens. Yeah. I'm like,
and it was
literally. I was like, so I don't know if I probably uploaded, but I was like, 1, 2, come on! I was
legit. I was like, they got us with that one for real, because we really was just going into it like, is this the night where it
like finally win the big one?
You know, and yeah, as time went along, man, me as a Titans fan, I peeped the theme. You know, they keeping that theme alive with every city they're in. You know, they came out with the Titans cheerleaders. They even changed the Street Profits font and style to like the Tennessee Titans.
So they got the whole get up.
They had the whole get up. I mean, they came out like Tennessee Titans home team colors. They alternated their logo to the Tennessee Titan Flame logo, except with Street Profits. I was literally just shouting out to WWE, literally like, make this buyable right now. I would buy this over that doggone SummerSlam jersey. Like, give me that. I want that. Please, something. Like, and it was just, that was pretty cool. And then I, for one, for some reason,
Jarrett played his part.
He did.
He wasn't. He didn't stand out. He was just there.
He was there. He did what he had to do, and I don't know why, given the Titans theme, I thought for some reason Derrick Henry would have found a way to be either like in their corner or something, because I kept hearing that he was either there or was going to be there or something. I don't know if anybody was on the first row and they like knew he was there, because they didn't pan in and we'll get to that, but they panned in on somebody that was there. But I don't know why they didn't just, because I heard them say Titans were there. So I'm like, well,
where are they?
Where are they? Like, no cameraman like panned it on them.
You got the cheerleaders though.
Yeah, you got the cheerleaders.
And shout out to the gent who was borderline staging up the women.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I was like, you got that one gent.
Go kill that.
Yeah. So there was that, and I'm just gonna say my mental note. This is more for the breakdown, but this is just what I noticed off top, based off how that finished. When I saw that the Usos retained, now this may just be me thinking this. Now, obviously, Montez and the Profits and the Usos can tell me this a little better, but I interpreted this as the way Montez, when they threw him over the guardrail and then they basically double teamed Dawkins, and they set him up for 1D and got the pin. When Ford tried to, like, when he literally was like a slight inch off of just trying to break that up, and it was too late, that to me was kind of like an homage to when the Tennessee Titans last were in the Super Bowl back in '99. And yes, I know people, that's a long time ago, but that's beside the point. That Super Bowl was a Super Bowl that was a very competitive back and forth Super Bowl. So the thing about that Super Bowl was the Titans literally were a second away from winning that, because it was literally like when dude caught that ball and landed. He was down just like a slight inch from that goal line to getting a touchdown. To I think it either would have tied it or they would have actually won if they went for like a 2-point. The fact is, unfortunately, he was that short and the game was over. So I want to say in some creative way that was their way of like kind of homaging that. Maybe I don't know for sure, but it was overall solid. Like I said, not better than Money in the Bank, but still
good.
Yeah.
Still
good. After that, shoot.
So people still the look in Montez's eyes. They
Yes.
might break up the Street Profits. I'm still in the camp of them going the New Day route and just cheering on their boy. But if they have to break up, or if they try to do like I think you had mentioned, like the brand split, like if they do a draft again and they put Montez on Raw and Dawkins on SmackDown, then it's like,
because truth be told, like Dawkins doesn't get enough credit because he's underrated of the two.
Yeah, as hell.
And the thing is, they both can succeed.
Mm-hmm.
They both can succeed.
It all comes down to creative.
Yeah, they can both succeed, but you gotta do it correctly, as Gresh put it greatly. Your creative got to be right, and if you keep this Triple H bag along, it's very possible
that both of them going to be just fine. And honestly, I think it's more so me not wanting them to turn on each other because I'm tired of the trope of one guy turning on the other, then you have to they feud for a bit and then they move on.
Yeah, we've seen that with Crime Time. We've seen that where that didn't need to happen.
We've seen that with Heavy Machinery Tucker literally was stripped down to the bone of whatever interest you had in him because he looked like a generalized randomized call.
And that constant like turn on each other thing all initiates just from Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty.
Literally, and then they tease it all the time. They were like, "Oh, Dawkins want to make sure you know that he's not his Jannetty, bro. Nobody is Jannetty. Yeah. Jannetty's a bum."
And people don't understand Jannetty literally had problems. You know what I'm saying? Like physical problems outside of the ring that messed his career. They were trying to push him.
Like every time he got fired, they brought him back. Vince kept giving him chances and he kept screwing it up. So to use that he's your Jannetty, you're insulting this man in general because it's like he's not Jannetty. He's better than Jannetty.
So that's just that on that, bro.
And then after that, all I could tweet out was like, dead ass, who's left? As far as like tag teams for the Usos, like and that comes down with they don't. It's like I thought when they unified the titles, they were gonna have more.
Yeah,
it's not. It's the same old. So it's like you gotta. So hopefully with Triple H now, he sets up like he started building up tag teams that are believable.
He would have to because the only other tag team that is left is a tag team we definitely don't want to see them go against again because that's just repeating
the New Day,
pretty much,
or Alpha Academy, but they would have to turn Alpha Academy face.
Yeah, again, that's what we talked about in the car on the way. Yeah, they have to. You gotta find a way to make that one work. But I don't even think they would push them enough to do it with that. Trips would have to figure out what tag teams you can bring up. The Viking,
the new vicious Viking Raiders. That's what they call them now.
Even with that, I don't know how that works because
they're heels. It's like they don't have enough baby faces outside of the New Day. That's believable.
Yeah, because at that point the Bloodline would be the baby faces because people love the Bloodline anyway.
Right.
Like there were so many people throwing up ones.
Literally, it was so many ones all the way into the main event. It was so many ones in this car.
Then
people tried to boo the Usos behind me, and they got shut down instantly.
Point exactly. Like so, the rest remains to be seen, y'all. But we'll see how that plays out.
After that, we got Kid Rock.
Oh yeah.
I never want to see. Can y'all stop booking this man? Damn, Limp Bizkit better as far as Undertaker's theme.
Thank you.
Fuck Kid Rock. Then we got Riddle and Rollins.
That was the brawl.
The brawl, and Rollins was running down like a Looney Tune, running down the ramp like a Looney Tune. He's like, and then they started brawling. I'm like, you both of them running down that long ass ramp, and then started brawling all the way up, and I'm like, God damn, y'all both
legit, man.
But it was a fun pull apart brawl. I understood where Triple H is going because we don't see pull apart brawls anymore. Vince will probably did 50-50 booking and had Rollins win or Riddle win just to get the upset and then continue the feud.
Mhm.
This is Triple H is more likely saving this for Clash at the Castle.
Yeah. So I see what you're doing. That's a good way to stretch it and not let us be like, oh, we've seen this before a million times. We're tired of it.
It's like they space it out like, hey, giving it more depth.
Yeah.
And Rollins went down the ring. Rollins basically said, "Now that's how you clear a bitch." That's literally it. Because he stomped on him and walked away.
That right there, boy. Good ones. After that, y'all, we I believe got the SmackDown Women's Title match.
Yep. And Liv, I said, "Hey, I met her." She said she liked my big belt.
I too posted a picture from the same meet and greet, just saying, "Hey, rooting for you, Liv. You got this." And did you?
And then you saw the ending though. The match was short.
Very short. It was only like 4.5 minutes, if that, 4 minutes, something like that. And
then Ronda looked like a dumbass.
A complete dummy. Because even when I saw that, I was like, she's gonna lose like that, isn't she?
Her shoulders were down too long. I was like, yeah, she's looking that. And then 1, 2, 3, I'm like, you idiot.
and then it was just what came after, because then it seemed to be controversial. I knew when I saw Ronda arguing with the
And then I think they showed the footage where Liv was tapping with the count. So they basically pulled the Kurt Angle Undertaker finish from 2002 when Undertaker was undisputed champion, where Undertaker had Kurt in the triangle choke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Kurt had Undertaker in triangle choke, and Kurt's shoulders were down, and the referee counted. And then right as he went to 3, Taker tap.
See, which he also did that again with Brock as well.
Oh yeah, Brock as well. The SummerSlam.
Yeah, so crazy how all of that goes, but shout out to Liv for retaining. Some out there are saying that made her look like a weak champ, but I'm like, I mean,
you have to keep both of them strong because they want to continue the story. But I mean, I get what they're saying. Yeah. Liv is going to have to get a solid finish.
Win. Yeah, she's got to get definitive wins, but at the same time, like, you can't still say that wasn't smart to do on her end. Like, it was
all she did was just used her weight against the advantage. She took the pain and she made Ronda look like a dumbass.
Yeah,
which Ronda didn't do that on her own, but still, she looked like a dumbass. Yeah. And 1, 2, 3, and then she obviously attacked. So they turned. I'm guessing this is a heel turn.
Yeah, so, pretty much a heel turn, which is expected. It's needed anyway. I mean, nobody.
Ronda. See, a lot of people. I said this in the car too. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are confused why people hate Ronda, and they don't really accept the fact that maybe she sucks. You never thought about that? Like, it's normal. It's like, because I hit a random person, and I was like, why do you think people hate Ronda? And he was like, well, maybe because she sucked. And don't be surprised if someone says they suck, because 95% of us think she sucks. It's not no controversy. She just doesn't intrigue a lot of people. And and hopefully Triple H rectify that and give her a mouthpiece, or do something, because even in the UFC, a lot of people didn't even like her in the UFC.
This is so true.
Like, so it's like it's not lost upon that Ronda Rousey is just probably not a likable person. Yeah. It's normal for people to think you're a dick.
Mm-hmm. So normal. And with that, we'll see how the rest of this plays out if she gets a mouthpiece. Also, there was a fun tweet from Shayna that says a true champ would never accept that win, and that Ronda's the true champ. So, looks like they may be hinting at those two pairing up pretty soon. If that's the case, I'm all up for it, especially if a mouthpiece gets involved in there and you form some type of stable. Because it looks like women's stables are slowly forming, so who knows? We might be seeing that.
I mean, add a fourth person to Bayley stable and build it up. We can probably have war games on the main roster.
Maybe.
I hope
we shall find out. Survivor Series. Right?
But before we got to the main event, Glenn was there. Glenn Jacobs came. And for what? I don't know. They announced they inflated 10,000 into the number because it wasn't whatever number it wasn't that many.
How it was described, they said, well, you need someone that knows how to lie, and Glenn is a politician. Hey, I know how to lie. Let me do it. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And all I could, and then wait, because to describe the atmosphere when they said Kane, you obviously had the hillbillies cheering, but then you had everybody else was like, ugh, really?
Yeah, I guess I was on the side with the hillbillies. Everybody was definitely
cheering. There was some people that was standing there, they were like, really?
Yeah, I had a lot of people that were like cheering and excited, and then
So it was pretty much a mixed bag.
Pyro came and just
that pyro was hot.
We felt
we was up top. I don't even want now because I used to think in the Attitude Era, JR and King was just like gimmicking the pyro, like, oh, it's hot.
Wow, that's hot.
That's hot.
Yeah.
But then when I'm like, from where I was, I'm like, God damn, that's hot. and we was up top. I don't even want to know what it felt like at ringside.
Sheesh.
And
I'm telling you, but
I don't know. Undertaker might have had a good idea with that house fire though.
Oh man. Hey, listen.
Then we got the main event, which was Roman Reigns versus Brock for the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship in the last man standing match. Last time ever. I will believe it when I see it.
Agreed. I mean, we'll see. This wasn't even supposed to be the match. You know what I mean?
It was rumored to be Randy Orton versus Roman, but obviously Randy's down with a back injury. So there's that.
See how that plays out.
And I was recording entrances because Roman was one of the few that got pyro, same as Brock.
Likewise.
And that was when my phone died, so I literally had no choice but to enjoy the chaos. And that was from a live point of view, that was one of two good matches in this saga that is Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I mean,
Brock came out in the tractor. Roman. It took when I saw that ramp. When we first got that, I said, "God damn, Roman ain't gonna get to that ring until WrestleMania 40."
That boy took his sweet time all the way.
He took so long. The theme song had to loop at least twice. Like, God, dog, bro.
Oh yeah.
And then when I looked to the stage, I realized what they was doing. They had to give the production crew time to put the tractor in place.
Nice. It was definitely something. Like I agree, their second best match apparently, and
the first one was the best.
Exactly.
And this one was obviously better. So you started with a banger and you ended with a banger.
Yeah.
And we was there.
If it is truly the end,
if it's truly the end, then that's how you end it.
Yeah.
Because they ended it with a banger. So I enjoyed it, and it was mainly because it was Cowboy Brock. Like he was just being himself. He even did his own intro, and he didn't give us the squeal.
Yeah, legit.
Brock. He said he's a big ass country cowboy, and all the cowboys in my section just said, "Yeah."
Likewise, I mean, all the yes, with the little Brock cowboy hats and all. So,
it's like woohoo, woohoo.
But that match apparently is another one. We'll give y'all a real in-depth review. We gotta see that one from commentary as well because Mr. Cole's in his bag again.
So we saw a little clip on Twitter. He was when Roman had him down. He said, "Damn it, count faster."
He's like, "Yo, I'm trying to get about this city. Okay, it's a long night. I got to get up next morning. Like, come on, we got to speed this up." Like, I mean, it was So, shout out to the ring spot, which was the biggest spot of the match because
they lit the ring up, and then after that, it was like, what was the point?
We were still trying to figure because we were like, you can't put the ring on top of Roman.
That's what I thought they was going for, but then I was like, how is that possible without crushing the commentary?
Exactly.
But then it stopped right there, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah. And then I'm like, okay.
And then when he rolled out, he didn't really. It wasn't a high roll. Like he didn't lift it high enough to where he just said splat. Yeah. It was more so. He literally said, "Wee."
Trying to do it in a safe like way,
and it didn't come. It didn't deliver the way that it was intended to.
I'm gonna tell you when he did it the first time before he did the ring spot, and he actually like
even then he landed on his feet. So he didn't do it. Yeah. He literally said,
yeah. Even when he did that, I started thinking about. I thought way back to the Attitude Era when Stone Cold Steve Austin picked up Triple H in that forklift and lifted him up.
Holy!
He's like, oh, Don't do it, Austin.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're gonna regret this. You're gonna regret this. Don't do it. Holy shit.
And I remember,
And he came back 2 weeks later like nothing happened.
yeah, because in my mind, as a kid, I thought like, oh my God, is he dead? Right? Because I I used to wonder like, how did he do that? And then initially looking back, I was like, how did he do that? Wait, because that was one of those mysteries. I was like, how did they do that?
They cut from the live to a pre-tape.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, I was like, dang. when you really like go from a kid to learning that in depth, you look back at that and you're like, dang man, that didn't age well. Like they made it believable.
Yeah,
it carries. But then you're like, when you now know what a creator's eye like.
This how you know it cut to the pre-tape because they panned out. So you didn't even see Triple H anymore. All you saw was a car. All you saw, we hit the camera. All you saw was a car going up. No, then all you hear is a voiceover. Don't you do it? Don't you do it? You don't see Triple H at all. You don't hear his mouth moving. Nothing. Holy shit!
It was like
same thing with this. It's like when you do this stuff live, unless it's cinematic, it's going to look silly, and it looked silly.
And that's why I was just like, from that right there, I just really thought to myself, that's all I could think about in a human form. I was just like, well, if that ain't a callback to what I saw with Austin and Triple H back in the day, I thought like, oh shoot, what's he finna do? Like, and then just like you said, it's like, I was just like, okay. I was like, well, shout out to the tractor. The tractor was the one that stole the night, I guess.
Literally, and then I'm like, I already know the crew who had to strike all this was like, God damn it,
mm-hmm.
I gotta strike all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that was a lot of rubble. And obviously, Theory teased the cash in. Brock scooped him up, said, "Get your ass out here."
Yeah. Crowd definitely popped on my end when that music hit.
The crowd on my end, it's like the air sucked. They was like, "Oh."
See, that's why I love live experiences like that because on my end they were definitely popping like, oh, that's it, he's gonna cash in, right?
Yeah, on my crowd, it was like, oh my God.
But even me and Gresh knew like
I knew it wasn't gonna happen
because they put it in the promo.
Before he even won it, when Michael Cole broke down, he said, "Mr. Money in the Bank probably has the opportunity to cash in on Roman or Brock after they are a week," and I'm like, thank you for telling me that it's going to be a failed. It's going to be a failed attempt to cash in.
Mm-hmm. And thank you even more with that promo video package before the match, because at that point, or will there be a theory? And then
I'm like, yep, he's definitely not going to cash in, or if he's going to attempt and it's going to be thwarted. Roman hitting him in the back with the briefcase was hilarious. He just said,
he was like, yeah, one more time for good measure, just to make sure you don't get up, because you not getting this.
He's like, get your ass down.
But for the most part, it was what it was. I figured that whole burial spot was gonna come. I was like, yeah, they're just gonna bury him.
They're just gonna bury him because he kept getting up. Like he took the WWE title shot belt off the skull. And he took the Universal. Then he took Money in the Bank, and he still kept getting. I was like, yeah, just bury him. Obviously, the Usos got involved because why not? And then because from his live experience, I knew they were gonna get involved because I just so happened because we were on the hard campsite, so I just so happened to look up and I see the Usos kicks in the golf cart coming to the other side. I'm like, yep, they're getting involved. So it probably wasn't meant for me to see, but I just so happened to look up and you're wearing these bright ass white shoes or red shoes. I know it's you.
Yeah, facts. So that was pretty much the main event. That was the show.
And it ended with power. We tried to get up out of there.
Yeah, by that point, we were trying to get out of there.
My phone was dead. I was like, I'm in a different country. I mean, not a different country, a different city. And I'm like, I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because the light in my face and the sun just drained me. So I was trying to stay awake to drive us all back to the hotel safe because I don't want to fall asleep at the wheel.
Not to mention just all the walking from the time of walking while killing time at the stadium,
and then
walking all the way back, up, and then walking back.
And I did it double because I was on the third level, so I was walking back and forth to meet with my boys Dalton and Aaron. So I was like, so you knew I was exhausted. So what I did was I put headphones in when we got back to the crib, went to sleep, took a shower obviously because I was around a bunch of funky people. See, I washed my ass. I don't know about y'all, but
yeah. And so far, I don't know about you, but I know there was folks that didn't smell.
Oh my God! Like, boy, Woo! I walked to get some food, and I'm like, they not cooking fish. Why am I smelling fish? What the?
Bro, do y'all not believe in sanitary
Oh my god!
behaviors?
No wonder we was in a pandemic for 2 years, bro.
Sheesh.
Y'all,
Mm-mm.
I'm like,
And it ain't just a Southern thing because this is everywhere. So this
oh my gosh,
it was yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, that was pretty much. We obviously the next day we had to check out from the hotel and we came back here.
Yeah, because ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you, as you know, it's Sunday and they're getting ready for Flair's last match. A lot of people were asking us, "Hey, you guys going to that?" We were like,
"Hell no, I'm going home."
not happening. Sorry, don't want to watch a man that is in his darn near 80s
trying to
pacemaker trying to wrestle. Yeah, like no, just it wouldn't work.
No, of course not.
And you know, yeah, we were good. I mean, on the way back, I was reading them the match card, the full match card. Interesting match card outside of their main event.
I said I would have stuck. I would have planned to stick around if it was just that match card.
Mm-hmm. Plus, the price was kind of from some of the people that were telling us about the pricing. We were just like, just to go in and watch that. Okay, yeah, I don't know. We'll be a little more prepared next time. Like StarCast was there, we didn't really get a chance to check any of that out.
That was like early in the week, so it's like if we know that StarCast is going to be because usually StarCast is around the big pay-per-views, wasn't it? Like
I do believe so.
Do they do that at WrestleMania too?
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
So it's like we'll try to plan like do a week instead of a weekend. We'll probably try to do like a week.
Like a week, yeah. Something we can manage.
And we might rent an Airbnb, so we won't have to pay for a hotel because the Airbnb is like a week. We just pay for a week and
Big
so
facts.
That way we can invite more people too. Like if they want to vibe with us.
Yeah, makes sense.
And save up on hotel because motels is a little pricey. Because I saw the receipt for the hotel, I was like, "Shout out BK, thank you, sir." That's all I was saying. Thank you, sir.
Talk, bro.
Because I looked at that, bro, like, God damn. Just 2 days?
2 days, my God. I was like, whoa. Okay. But all in all,
that was pretty much our solid time. But for that, it was fun to like from a live perspective. That was one of the best shows I've seen live, and I've been to both. This is my second live event. The first one was AEW when they came to Duluth, not Atlanta, to Duluth, the greater Atlanta area. Let's go with that. Gwinnett. They came to Duluth when Cody set himself on fire. Yeah. That was the most memorable part of it because it was so stupid. I said, "Bro, you set yourself on fire." But that was my first live in person, and then obviously this one. Mm-hmm. And before we go, shout out to everybody who stopped to take pictures with us, and
people that knew. Shout out to everybody that knew about either GRESH Unleashed or they knew about the Life of Bosch podcast or they knew about both of us. It's just like, you guys definitely were a spark to help keep us going. I mean, we're already self-motivated with most things we do, but generally just to see that gave an extra boost coming back home to just say, hey, we gotta keep going. People actually are out there listening to you and what you're doing. So thank you guys so much for your support, your love. We're going to try to do more of these live event things, man, because now that we know people are out there that know us, we made it exclusive. It's only Big Four from this point with WWE. Even with Triple H running creative, we're like,
same goes with AEW. We might try to do like an AEW pay-per-view here now. We'll try to probably go to since they keep going to Chicago, I doubt it, but
we'll figure that out if we have to. I'm hoping they do something like a Philly theme because if they do a Philly theme, I got family up there where we can make that work.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's like we'll try to plan it out, but we'll try to not keep it exclusive to WWE. But
for sure.
It's like WWE goes to more places than AEW at this point.
Agreed. So we'll see how it plays out, though. But thank y'all again just for rocking with us, man. We're going to keep the content rolling for y'all. We're going to keep things going. We got the actual full review coming when we rest and check out the pay-per-view from the commentary's perspective and actually get the real deep dive because there won't be a glaring light in our face. And we'll tag team again, let y'all know what we think about it. But overall, like Gresh said, shout out to y'all the MVPs, man. We appreciate y'all if y'all was there live with us and took pictures with us and all that jazz. We got some content still to post and edit up to put on the socials, so make sure y'all following at GRESH Unleashed. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Make
Or
sure
at Hi-Lite Life
Mhm.
or OTS Media.
OTS Media. You know what I'm saying?
'Cause, you don't have a specific Life's Bots Twitter, so OTS
not a
Media.
Twitter. Yeah, OTS Media. For sure. OTS Media Co. Specifically, OTS Media Co.
Yep.
And then Life's Bots does have
Nah,
TikTok, and we do have Instagram. So make
Yep.
sure you follow Life's a Botch podcast on TikTok, Instagram. Working on some creative things. I was gonna try. I made some characters I had brought with me. I was gonna try to do, but we just didn't really have time. Because once we got into the meet and greets, it was like,
It's like we don't really have time for.
I had time to break out my characters like Suplex Larry and El Bachador. So I'll showcase them guys to y'all soon. And if y'all like them, they'll come back. You know what I'm saying, more for different things. But if not, we'll rebrand and just get some other stuff going to keep y'all entertained. You know what I mean? But in the meantime,
all in all, if you are new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Whether you listen to your podcast, with YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you listen, wherever you see GRESH Unleashed or at GRESH Unleashed, that's where you can get snippets or the full podcast. Or you can simply visit www.greshunleashed.com. It will direct you to our audio dictionary, so you can know where you listen to your podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. It's a whole thing, and we also check out the actual episodes itself. If you don't want to go through all that, is hosted by Podbean. Shouts out to them as well for being supportive of that. As well as if you want to subscribe to us on YouTube at GRESH Unleashed, there's no custom URL yet, but we'll more likely be back this coming week. Don't hold me to it. I got to get some rest because it was a long road back to and back. If me and Suela link up, we might bring Hi-Lite back on so we can get you a review for this week if we watch wrestling this week, because I'm pretty sure, because I'm interested to see what goes down on Raw. Bayley's back.
For sure.
EO Sky's on Raw. Dakota Kai's back. King Codis is back. Becky is a face now. It's so many things.
Yes.
As far as the women, it's interesting. Edge is back as a babyface, even though he's still demonic, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. And I mean, even our in-between mid-card characters, because you just never know.
It's like if Raw gets back watchable, you'll probably hear us talk about it more on this podcast. But if not, it is what it is. But
not to forget SmackDown.
And SmackDown too. And then obviously we talk about AEW. If this week sucks, I'm probably going to officially start my break from it. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah.
Like, if it sucks, I'm just going to take my break.
Last week was solid, but this week we'll see how it plays out.
But with that being said, in this world of unknown, make sure you guys remember the one known, and that as your voice of Deltry Gresh, as well as your Prince of Bots Hi-Lite. The one known that is, we appreciate you. And with that being said, you guys stay safe out here in these streets, and remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Be breezy.